Hey, 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 welcome to the ladies' room. This is your girl, Ashley Michelle, and we are here for another night of the ladies' room. We got a good show lined up for you. Today, for those of you who have just joined, welcome to the ladies' room. We talk about everything love and marriage and dating, children, societal issues, entertainment. We talk about it all over here. All right, so welcome. Make sure you like and subscribe and share on your own social media pages, y'all, so we can spread the word about the ladies' room. All right. So, like I said, I'm your girl Ashley Michelle, and we have Cannon Hill
Hey.
and Triple OG, and we have a special guest today. His name is Deron Sims. Deron, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about my camera. It's a little, I'm doing a little cleaning over here, so
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So, and then Jovo will join us in a little later, y'all, and hopefully Raven will as well. Okay. Right. Devin will also be joining us in a little bit. Um, so let's go ahead and get right into it. How y'all feeling today?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm
I
okay.
told you I like that lipstick. Lipstick popping.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. What about you, Triple OG?
I'm good. I'm good. I ain't got no drink today, so you go.
Uh-oh. No drink. So you're gonna be a little normal today.
Nah, I'm be on my best behavior today.
All right. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So our first question for today is there room for privacy in a marriage? Another way of asking this is it appropriate to have privacy or necessary to have privacy in a marriage? And this question was inspired by a video I saw. Um, was a video I It's inspired by a video that I saw where someone asked if it's appropriate for like your wife to go through your phone. And some people were like, yeah, my wife goes through my phone. I can go through hers. We have our passcodes and all that stuff. And one person was like, no, like, we need privacy, right? So I wanted to ask you all, is there room for privacy in a marriage? Who wants to go first?
Okay. I think that it is room for privacy, but I mean, I think you have to define what that is, right? Because I mean, I think everybody deserves privacy. Like even your children deserve privacy. You know what I mean? So I think in that regard, there's some level of privacy that you should have, but there shouldn't be any secrets, right? And there shouldn't be any anything that's off limits in terms of like especially like your phone. Like I don't even view in a marriage, I don't view your electronic devices as like private, if that makes sense. Like it's not. It's like what's like what would be on there that I shouldn't be able to see. You see what I'm saying? It's like this is private. You know what I'm saying? Like what is like that? That shouldn't be the case. Like it shouldn't be anything that your partner couldn't see or that you know what I'm saying on your device. But in regards to like if you I don't know, just if you have something that you keep just for you or you know what I'm saying, then I think, I mean, yeah, of course everybody deserves some level of privacy, but I think people get privacy mixed up with like secrecy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's what I
Shit, I guess that's a man and woman miscommunication because I thought if it, I don't think it's privacy in the marriage, right? So for one, if you keep a secret, that's deemed wrong. But if I want my wife to know, then that's supposed to be my privacy right there, right? So how does that work? I don't understand.
So wait, ask your question again.
So if it's something I don't want my wife to know, whether it's in my phone or wherever, and I'm just not telling because I don't want her to know. I want to keep it private to myself. That's just how it is, right?
I think
And then
think
if she
maybe
finds out, it's going to be like, why are you keeping this a secret? Like, because I want to keep that to myself. This ain't nothing I want to share with you.
I
So
think
I
that
don't. Where is the privacy?
I think that we should define the word privacy first because I feel like that'll make it easier. Like privacy literally says the state or condition of being free from being observed or disturbed by other people. And the other one says the state of being free from public attention. So like that's privacy. So it's like yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like some moments you deserve to be free from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody shouldn't be on you 24/7. You know what I mean? But generally, you just shouldn't be. You shouldn't be free from being disturbed or observed by your partner. You know what I mean? Like who's with you? Like so that yeah.
So no privacy in a marriage.
No, I said generally. I said no. There is some privacy. What I'm saying is we all deserve moments, even children. Like I said, where you're undisturbed or observed by somebody. You don't need to be under a microscope being observed about everything 24/7. But as far as like a general rule, it shouldn't be like, oh, my partner can't observe me. Like I don't think
But
that.
who decides what's private and what's like do the partner that wants to know what's going on about everything does that person makes the decision on whether this should be private or the person who doesn't want to share something like I don't want to share this So therefore, don't ask me about it. Don't try to go on my phone and look for it or whatever. And I shouldn't have to lock my phone either, just to keep you out of it from seeing that. So if I say this is private, then that's what it is. Just because, like, who decides that?
I mean, the person who's in the relationship makes the decision, but it's like, what are you deciding to keep private? Like, is it like, oh, I'm cheating over here, but this is private. This is my privacy. Don't pay attention.
That's the
Don't
private
look for
part.
my cheating
I
because it's
don't have
private.
a person shouldn't have to tell you what I'm keeping a secret. Like they shouldn't have
But
to be
you know
like,
what
this
you're
is
keeping a secret.
yeah. That person should know like this is something I don't want to talk about or
So of
disclose.
course, if you're doing stuff behind your partner's back, right? That like I
See,
say, that's deceptive
and
or
that's
whatever. Of course, you're gonna be like, this
but
needs
that's
to be
my point.
private.
You see how you word in privacy now, doing something behind this person's back. Like so, to me, there is no privacy. Like point blank, because if you got to word it that way, like you're doing it behind my back, that means I guess I can't have privacy then.
So let's
Well,
say let's stay away from like the phones, because I know a lot of times people equate the phones being private with cheating, right? Let's say it's private, like, hey Devin, how are you? You ready? I'll give you some time.
And I'm just speaking in
um,
general too. It's,
but
it's not even a
yeah,
and I'm just speaking in general too. It's not even got to be a bad thing or cheating all the time. It could be like 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 if a woman was something happened to her youth and she just doesn't want to disclose that with her husband, or a man was abused, he just don't want to discuss that, and he chooses to keep it private, and then the wife or the husband finds out about something. Do they get to be like, why was you keeping this a secret, or do they be like, you can talk about this when you're ready, or you know
I
what I'm
don't feel
saying?
like that goes into that. I don't feel like that goes into that same thing. I feel like privacy
Privacy.
is a when you talk about privacy in a marriage, I feel like that's a current state of being. I don't feel like that's like previously from before stuff that this stuff is private to me
Okay,
before we
let's
was
break it
together.
down. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you say privacy in a marriage, you're talking about how much of your life are you going to share with this person that you living with? Like
Yeah.
how much are you going to operate free from observation of this other person? What is it that they shouldn't be observing as
okay,
it relates to you?
Okay, that's one way of looking at privacy. Yeah.
okay. So like, what would be some things you would want privacy about, or that a person should have privacy about, if you think there are anything? Because some people, are of the frame of mind that once you get married, you're like one, and everything that affects one person will affect the other. Most things will anyway. I
So
The only thing I can kind of see being appropriate to have private is like conversations with you and your family or your other friends, right?
Right,
I can see that being private. I think anything related to finances probably shouldn't be private.
right.
Health issues shouldn't be
Be
private.
private. Yeah.
I mean, I don't really get the phone thing, like people who have to look through. 'Cause to me, that's like a indication that somebody doesn't trust their partner. But like if you just have each other's phone numbers, or I mean phone passcodes, I mean, that's fine, you know, right? But I can't think of anything else that should be private.
I think I think if the couple has joint accounts and they're both paying what they agreed to pay, and there's no problem with that, I think you could keep your other money that you save private.
Okay.
Like like nah, don't worry about what I'm saving over here. This is my money over here. I'm giving you what we agreed on each month, and I'm paying my portion or whatever I'm supposed to be paying. So whatever I scrape up to save, I do some side jobs to save. This is my money for me now. You can ask me if I can give you some money. Yeah, and I might say yes, I might say no, but don't be like how much money you've been saving up, or let me check that account that you got over there. Like if I got a joint account, then you got a joint account, then it's by don't pressure me into asking me like how
Yeah.
much I got, like when it comes to finances like that.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that too. Okay. All right. What do you think, Duran?
Oh, well, I
Okay,
think.
Duran, I'm sorry. Before you start, I'm so sorry. Let me go ahead and bring up
Oh, yeah.
Devin. Devin is also joining us. You ready, Devin?
Ready?
All right. All right. All right. So we're talking about privacy. Is there room for privacy in a marriage, or basically, is it appropriate to have? Duran, what do you think?
Well, I can kind of see where all the points are going as somebody that was married. So like certain things I can understand. Like there is privacy when it comes to certain things. Like like per example, like the example, like if your friend, like if you out with your friends and your friend tells you a secret, okay, that's between me and you. I'm not gonna go home and tell my wife about that because that's private. That's between me and you. Just like if you go out with one of your girlfriends and she tells you a secret, that's between y'all. I'm not gonna pry and ask, what did she tell you? Because that was private. That was shared just for you and her. So, like certain things, like you said, we get rid of the whole phone thing because I can understand. It's like, certain things, you know, like do deserve privacy. You don't have to share things like that, but everything else, I feel as though like, you should be open with your partner about, you know, everything else. Like I have okay, so I know a guy, he works in law enforcement and like he's open with his wife about everything, but the only thing he doesn't tell her is he's private with his job because he works in law enforcement. And he told her like there are times that there are things I do with my job that I can't share with you, I can't talk about.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
So in that aspect, he has the right to keep that private because
But
that's
wouldn't that
something.
be more like confidential?
Well,
No,
that too,
that's
but
private. Yeah, isn't that
yeah, that's still the same
Mhm.
thing technically. Like
Mm.
so confidential, private, but
Hmm.
like that's just like something that he has to keep to himself because, like I guess in a way it's like okay, like this is the one part of my life that you're not involved in, and I you know I can't bring you into this part of my life,
okay?
and for a good reason because he because he works in law enforcement, so he's dealt with criminals and all that. So so for that he keeps that private. Like he keeps that separated from his home life, and he keeps that private. He doesn't talk about it, he doesn't bring it home with him you
Okay.
know
Is it because of the work policy or because he just doesn't want to warp her mind with certain
Well,
things
it's
that
both
he does?
actually. So not necessarily work policy, because I'm sure you probably have people that work in that field. They probably go home to their spouses and tell them everything.
Hmm.
But for him, it's just so okay. I don't want that to come into my home life
Yeah,
because
it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah, because it's a lot. So I keep that private. I don't share that with her because I don't want her wondering or questioning or doing X, Y, and Z. So therefore, I don't share it with her so she doesn't have to worry.
Hmm.
Okay. So,
So I can overall say like yeah, like certain things, like stuff like that, like when it comes to like maybe like stuff like between you and your friends or maybe other outside stuff, yeah, you can keep those things private. But when it comes to like finances and telephone stuff like that, like stuff that's within the marriage and the relationship, none of that should be private.
okay, I agree. Do you all agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that if we gonna be real, I feel
Mhm.
like the only time people really argue about privacy, like in a marriage, is when they had something. Like I
I
don't
can
feel
agree
like
with
people
that.
be really arguing over like they don't be like, what did your friend say to you the other day? You not gonna tell me? Like they don't argue about that. It's always like,
If they're
oh
hot.
well, who is this man you just met? Or and it's like that's private. Like why you in my bed? You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like that's the only time people really pull that card. I feel like.
Okay. Okay.
I can
I
actually
can
agree
agree with
with
that.
that, but I actually saw a funny video up on TikTok in regard. Well, it was making fun of that, but I was
Mhm.
like, okay, I can see like why they did the sketch though. So basically, it was a guy and a girl. They were sitting there. The girl asked the guy's phone. He said, "Of course." She asked what's your password. He gave her the password, and she was like, "Okay, you're not hiding anything." He was like, "No, you can go through my phone and all that." She was okay. Well, can I go through your group chat? Then he got mad, like, "No, you can't do that."
Yeah,
Mm.
Because like that was his group chat with his guys, and he was like, "Okay, I want
yeah,
to keep that sacred." Like you
and
don't
that's
have
not
to.
only his privacy; that's their privacy too, though.
Right.
Mm. Okay. All right. Devin, what do you think?
I don't tell everything. I'm to be on 100% with you. I mean, just I don't know. I mean, everybody got their own rules on how they, I don't tell everything to my friend. I don't tell everything to my wife. I mean, I just some things just keep to myself. Some things, some information I might find out. I ain't just gonna be blasting it off. because one, either it can bring up problems, or two, it may be telling somebody else issues. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, I mean, the things that we do in our relationship, in our own household, and things like that, no, it ain't no secrets there. You know, and like Miss Cannon just said, you know, most people just, if they are keeping things away, it's usually because they got some other little issues or problems they trying to hide. So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't have those type of things going on, but I mean, just I don't tell everything, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure my wife don't tell me everything. There's certain things that she probably show with her sisters that she want to keep to herself. They ain't for me to know.
Yeah.
You know. So,
I had a hard time in my marriage knowing what to tell and what not to tell. I was getting in trouble for every goddamn thing at one point. Damn, what should I tell and what should I not tell? Like, as guys, when you go out and you mingling with the opposite sex and you having conversations and stuff like that, and you being cordial or whatever the case may be, and then
and you get
sometimes
a
you might,
phone number and you bring it
yeah,
home.
you
Other
get,
person
yeah.
you was being cordial with.
You bring a phone and then you tell your wife about it, like, yeah, I was talking to a young lady, this and that, and then boom. It's like some women, they ask for transparency and they be like, just be honest with me and this and that, just tell me what happened. I'm not gonna, and then you do, they be like a whole different story. So sometimes you gotta be like, it's
I'm
like
not gonna tell them that I went out and got numbers from women. Now I'm gonna keep it to myself and keep the numbers. Like that doesn't make any sense what you're saying. That's just like being like, I can't tell my husband I slept with this guy yesterday. Why can't I tell you that? I'm just being transparent. Like, what are you talking about?
That's deep right there. That's extreme. Right
level who?
I mean, no, see
my
that,
number
but
sleeping with somebody. Okay.
that's what I'm saying. It's like you're not even hearing what you're saying. It's certain things that can be crossing the boundary in a marriage, and you just like, I can't tell you that I crossed the boundary. You like, what?
This is how I know it's not a man. It's not men. Because if a man comes home and he be like, man, I met some pretty cool dudes at the club, I exchanged numbers with them. Now the woman ain't gonna say nothing about that, right? If you go home and tell the same story about a woman, and it's like, I was talking to a woman, she's into real estate and this and that. I got a card. You go home, tell a woman, it might
Is
be
it
some
not
bull,
the same
right?
thing? Vice versa. If your wife coming home talking about I met this really cool guy at the bar and got his number, yeah, because he's really into XYZ, you gonna be like, oh, cool, y'all gonna be good friends. What are you talking about?
Me.
I think it's
Okay,
the
so
context
you
of
know
what
me
it is.
personally. You know me. You know I
Yeah,
would
there
not.
we go.
You know I wouldn't be if you was like, I talked to a dude, he's in the real estate. I wouldn't be mad about that. So
I think Deron just hit on something.
and you know
I
I
think
wouldn't.
he hit on
So
something important.
I think it's the context
Yeah.
and how you approach it. Like now, if you genuinely just go into the bar and you happen to meet somebody, say of the opposite sex, they in the real estate, you come home and say, "Hey, baby, I met this lady. She, me and her had a conversation at the bar. She's into real estate, XYZ. She gave me her business card." I think that's something different than
What
going
if
home
she
and
was a
saying, "Oh, I got
stripper
her."
what if she was a stripper at the strip club and she was into
Oh,
real estate?
I
And she,
mean,
yeah, that's
honestly, well,
And
number
so
one, you ain't gonna catch me at the
it. The
strip
cat is out of
club.
bag. I went to a strip club, and look, fellas, this is my first strip club ever. I don't even do strip clubs. I've never been to a strip club till I got to Atlanta. I've been to like bachelor parties where there were strippers there and stuff like that, but I never been to a strip club. So my first time in Atlanta, my uncle comes up. He like, let's go to the strip club. I'm like, cool, whatever, let's go. So
I appreciate
me,
this.
by this being my first time at a strip club,
Yesterday
I'm like,
I picked out at the store.
who's that?
Somebody baby in the background.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
that was my niece. I'm sorry about that.
So this is my first time in a strip club, and me in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna be on my best behavior. Like I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm good. So I go there, and I'm not even getting no lap dances. I just got my bottle. I'm drinking. I'm chilling. The women come up and ask me for dance. I'm like, nah, I'm good. So this one lady, she come up and she's like, you don't want to dance? I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm just chilling. So we sit down and we start talking. Just start talking about life, just regular conversations. And she was a a massage therapist, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I said, and my wife had been complaining about her back being hurt and stuff like that. So I got her card. Boom. I ain't touch her. We just talking. She was like, she was off for the night anyways. So I text the card home. Well, I'll just go home. I talk to my wife about the night, and I give her the card. Like, yeah, this lady, she does massages and this and that. Thinking I'm good, right? I'm like, I was good. I was on my best behavior. Look, here go the card right there. God, behold, I was in trouble. So now I'm like,
but hold on, I gotta stop you. How were you in trouble? What was this trouble that you in? Because
because you told me I was bringing home
You brought home a card from a stripper. You did.
Yeah, you made
You
a
wasn't
big
in
thing
trouble.
about
What did
like
you talk
start
about?
talking
I
about she
think it was
playing.
more so you were at the strip club, and that was probably what upset her.
Yeah, because if I was probably somewhere else, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal, right?
Right. I mean, if you could come on, if you seen somebody,
Okay.
I was talking to a stripper. We had a nice conversation. I got a card.
Hey,
Like
listen,
that's really
See
her
that now
business
we
is
acting
good
like
money for
strippers not
men. Are you
people, right?
kidding
hey, check this out. I talk to everybody, right?
That's
You know
my
what I'm
point.
Hey,
saying?
I do too.
I'm pretty sociable individual, right? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I can see what my man's might have bought the car home and then think nothing of it, right? Because I probably would have probably did something similar, and especially because in that sense, I mean, I felt like he just being transparent. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he kept the car in this.
But I'm still trying to figure out what the trouble was. Like how, like what was
Y'all talked about that. Talk about I shouldn't be bringing. I brought another woman into our bedroom and she's playing the long game.
Who said that?
You
No,
told
I said
you told me she was playing a long game with me, and that's how they get them. She didn't try to do nothing. She's playing you for like a sucker.
so.
Y'all
That means
come on now.
that means that you was in trouble. So
You
basically, you just
no
don't want
okay.
anybody
I
else's
shouldn't say
opinion.
trouble. You made it seem like I was getting played and I didn't know any better, and I was letting this stripper take me for everything I got in the future.
Well, because no, hold on. First of
That's what you
all,
were saying. That's what you were saying.
you
what
taking
you were
all
saying.
the context away. You take, hold on, wait a minute. No, that's
That's
not
what you
fair.
were saying.
They had already got played by the strippers at this strip club, like
didn't
for
get played
the lap dances. Like they didn't even know how it worked, like with the strippers and the songs and the lap dances and all this other stuff. So they had already got played. So it's not that far fetched to be like, okay, this is another. Like, what are you talking about?
I didn't get played because I didn't get no dances from no strippers.
But I'm still trying to figure out what the trouble was. Like you seem to be more upset about it than I ever was.
Yeah, because for one, when a man goes out and behaves, in his mind he's doing a good thing, and then he comes home and be transparent, and there's still some slack about that. Now you leaving the man to be confused, like goddamn. So
no, I just think that you don't want to hear other people's contrary opinions because there was no trouble. You weren't in any trouble. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we went to bed just
we ain't taking no sides now.
That's not what she was. That's not what she's saying.
OG, did you think she was gonna be like, oh baby, I trust you.
Yeah, that's what he was talking for.
Yes. I wanted to be praised because if I fuck up, I'm gonna get chewed out. So I wanted to be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking
now
about.
imagine if you found that card. Imagine if you found that card in his car and it said, "Can't wait to talk to you again." That definitely would have been a lot of trouble there. I mean, he brought the card to you.
If she would have found the card and me not give
the card
to her. I'm still trying to no. Hold on. Let me pause both of you, Devin and Deron. I'm still trying to figure out what the trouble was. Like my whole thing is, in a marriage, is it not okay to have a differing opinion and be like, I think this is what happened? Like that mean you in trouble? Like I don't like you.
Leave the trouble word up.
Assuming though,
okay, let's get rid of the trouble word because you're just gonna stick to that.
No. I'm not saying like what happened in the sense of like what you did, but what I'm saying is this is the way that I interpret the situation. That's not in trouble. Like I don't understand.
All right, okay, leave the we go extra trouble word out because you go hang on that trouble word. You was trying to play me like I didn't handle myself accordingly when I was out. That's how you was acting. Like I was.
We have to also use the context that you're an over friendly person. So what is you with women?
That should work in my favor.
So stop.
That should work in my favor.
No,
if you know I'm an over friendly, you were like, okay, because
I didn't say friendly. I said over friendly. You know what over friendly means? That means stepping over boundaries.
But look, I go to the club and I buy guys drinks. I will buy a guy a drink that I met in the club. Like,
but that don't have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. You know it. So stop.
Like I said, who determines over friendly? That's subjective. Okay.
These technicalities, oh my lord.
That's subjective. Like, over friendly. Oh, you bought too many drinks, or you bought an expensive drink. That could be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Well, hey, I've heard plenty of stories of women saying that they guys were over friendly. Like, well, let's just say I have a friend, and his girl says that about him all the time. Like, they went to an outing or something, and it was a couple that they were talking to, and he just made a quick joke and everybody was laughing, and then the girl, she just looked at him like, oh, so you a comedian now?
Yeah, no, See, no,
you making bitches laugh.
No, see, this is not fair. I'm gonna give y'all context. It has never been anything in my presence. I'm talking about something very specific, and he knows. So whatever. He know
Privacy.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Privacy. This is my leave my private. Stay out my private life, girl.
Man, her business, huh?
All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and move on. All right, so we have another topic lined up, a really good one. But before I do that, I want to make sure you guys know how to find us on social media. We have an Instagram page now, so go ahead and click on the link that I'm about to put in the chat and follow us. And of course, we have our Facebook page, which is where we continue conversations and have other conversations. You can post as well, whatever questions you have. So go ahead and join our group. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat as well. All right.
Can I say one thing before we switch? Miss JoJo, she asked why married guys out there getting phone numbers. I think we kind of overlooked that. I mean, I just think that. I mean, I did want to tell her that, hey, you know, sometimes in our different lines of work, you might get somebody else's phone number. It don't have to be nothing in, you know, just in an aspect that you trying to call somebody up and hang out with them later or whatever. It could be business wise. So I did say that. Cool.
Okay. And I think like it would be appropriate, I guess, for you to tell your wife, or like if you're a woman and you get a number from a guy of the opposite sex, I guess that's appropriate to do what Darwin did, I guess.
Yeah, he told her.
Club though.
He didn't keep it a secret.
All right.
I lied. I'll have to get a drink.
I heard you back there talking about a drink. But then I don't know, your spouse might have the reaction Cannon had. Like,
but no, it wasn't that bad. But I did hear about it. For her mama was clowning me for a good minute.
That's what I'm saying. Like, first of all, it's jokes. And so I'm saying he acted like I was like, oh my god. Now, mind you, too, I was like,
it was jokes, but they was dead serious about old girl playing.
Pregnant. No, as a matter of fact, I was probably like 7 months pregnant, right? So that's why I wasn't even there, right? So it was like you sitting up here acting like it was just like, oh my god, you get no, it wasn't. It was like, really?
Hey, you know how people joke. You know how people joke, but they be serious. That's how they was doing me. Her mom was like,
she wasn't like mad. She just saw it differently. She just like
she felt
getting numbers at all.
Exactly.
Ashley, I saw disappointment in her face. she was talking to me like I was a simp. Like, oh yeah, she gonna play you for the long game. Yeah, that's what they do. They don't get no money from you that night, but yes, that's how she that's how they were talking.
That's how you was talking. You was like, she didn't even want my money. She was just talking to me, being nice. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
The stripper was just talking to you, being nice. All right.
Because I'm a nice person. People like to talk to me.
She's just trying to make sure you don't go back.
Yeah, it's different types of sex workers, right? You have ones that do the actual stuff. Then you have some men that just want to have a conversation because the women just want to talk. Like, what are you talking about?
And you got all types of guys. Some guys that get played, like you thought that was me, and then some guys who just go about their business at the end of the day. That's really how I get down. Like I didn't think nothing else about her. But you thought I was about to be like giving her money for years to come.
You seem really troubled.
She's about to get a house on me. Like
this seems like this really traumatized you.
It did traumatize me. Really, it did. I was really traumatized. I was like, damn, shit. I was on my best behavior. Then touch the ass. I didn't even sniff a titty. Everybody else around me slapping titties and asses. I was sitting back like, yeah. And then I come home and get chewed out.
You got chewed out. Say keep it here. Don't don't let Ava know where it's at.
You are so over exaggerating. You are so full of it. You so full of it.
Y'all. Let's go ahead and move on. So the next question. All right. So Philisha Rashid. Hold on. Let me put it up. Philisha Rashid said something that has gotten people talking. This is an old quote, actually. But for some reason, people have started to kind of talk about it a little again. So the quote is, where the women go, the culture goes. How true is that statement? So I'll refrain from telling you guys like what I thought that meant. And I just want to hear like your responses. Like what's your general response to this quote? Where the women go, Where the women go, the culture goes. Who wants to go first?
Well, I want to listen to some other people because I'm really lost with that because
Okay.
yeah. So
I don't think that that's true. I think that that's a cop out to try to put the responsibility of respectability politics onto women, and I think that that has actually been very harmful for the culture and um in general, because I think when you just try to put you can't put somebody else's choices and somebody else's behavior on another person. You know what I mean? Like I can't be responsible for how you're behaving. Like that's your choice. Like everybody has their own choices to make. I can't be responsible for my behavior and your behavior. So
Yeah.
I just don't like that whole thought process. I think that that's what have women in jacked up situations now. Like women will get married or do whatever and then be like, oh, if I just act like this or if I just do this, then he'll do XYZ. No, he's not. He gonna do what he's gonna do what he wants to do, what he been doing. It don't have nothing to do with your behavior. And it never has. So it's like I just kind of hate that people be saying that like it'll go wherever. No, it don't. It doesn't
Yeah.
go wherever the women go. It does not. Like
Yeah.
it just puts the burden on the women, right, to try and salvage whatever, but it just takes responsibility from the person who should be exhibiting certain behaviors. Like
Okay.
that's just not, to me, that's just not a good way to think.
Okay. And to answer your question, Darwin, I think, well, my interpretation of it is that whatever women embrace in the culture,
Men
others
will follow.
follow. Yeah. And so my first thought when I read that, I thought it was powerful in two ways. One way, like in a positive way, because it's like telling women our choices are important. And in a way, I agree because we are the ones that raise the children, And if you look at our culture, women do have like a very strong position in like what's popular, what's cool. But I also thought what you said, it seemed like a cop out for men.
Yeah,
Like,
because women enroll in college at higher rates than anything. I don't see them flocking to go do that. I don't understand.
yeah, yeah, it's like a cop out. It's like a way to kind of blame everything on women, any ills of society. Oh, that's women's fault. So, what do you guys think? What do the men on the panel think?
I can see it in a couple ways. I can see how it could be looked at as a cop out. However, I can also see how you like women do control fashion. A lot of things that men do is because for the woman. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy gonna go get fly. Why? Because he want to impress some ladies. You know what I'm saying? He gonna go buy that nice car. Why? Because he gonna. We just talking about material things, right? But we talking about like on the foundation of what's going on in the household. Like a lot of kids, they who they look up to first, their mama, right? So mom, or the woman, she kind of leaves this I'm trying to see what I'm trying to say. Um,
Influence.
yeah, this the influence behind that we all kind of like go towards, and we see that like say for instance my kids. Obviously I'm the cool one of the parents or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? But don't tell my wife. But the kids, you know what I'm saying? But
Dads always are.
ultimately the kids gonna always go towards her, right? So she's influencing a whole. I got influence on my family too, but her influence is just way much more stronger than mine is because who name they call first? I could be sitting right there on the couch. The kid's gonna get up, mama, mama.
But but wouldn't that be more moms than just women in general? Like that would be more like moms have this influence, right? Because they're raising the kids. But as far as like women in general, like does that you think
Well,
that
I
applies?
just think it just goes so far back, right? I'm saying I think
Mm.
it's just something that just kind of like ingrained in us ultimately. Like we grow up the same way, right? We grew up, calling out for mama our whole lives, right? So
Mhm.
who is a woman? So that's kind of who I'm thinking at right now. I could need to gather my thoughts a little bit more, but I
Mhm.
can't see how this statement can
I
go.
understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. What about outside of the home?
I,
What about women's influence outside of the home?
I,
I'm thinking about, just culture, like the way we dress, the music we listen to, or the music we make. the clothing, like everything.
I
The way
feel like that
everything.
was a. I feel like it was a reach by her saying culture. Maybe
Okay.
trends and
Okay.
certain things. Women have a bigger like influence on certain things, and even with fashion, that's not just a woman's thing because most of the time women will wear things to appease a man and man go do things to appease women, so it works 50-50 to me. Like if a person doesn't accept it, then it's gonna die down, right? Like, so a lot of the fashion that's going on, uh as far as like the short, the exposing of the body and stuff like that, women do it because men like it. If men didn't like it, women wouldn't do it. I probably, and I stick by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the things that women do is to impress a man, and most of the things that men do is to impress a woman. So, I mean, you can't have one without the other. Um, as far as fashion and stuff like that, it's both a man industry and a female industry. So I can't really, like, women go well what they wear, men go well what they wear. So I don't know how we can even
Okay.
gather data to be like men are more influential when
Yeah.
we have
I
two different
feel
styles of
like
dress.
I feel like with her older worldview, what she is envisioning is
Mm.
where women put up a certain image that protects everything else that's behind them. And I think that that's what the expectation is looking for, because I'm sitting up here just really trying to think, like, when have men ever just like been groveling to women or trying to see, you know what I'm saying? It's like only thing that I could think of is that a man will pretend, right? Or he'll have like a double life, right? You know what I'm saying? Or have that image, but he gonna do what he gonna do regardless, like he always has, because this is a male dominated society culture. So it's like that's all I could think of that she means by that, like, because in her age group, it's like the women, especially like the wives and stuff, they're gonna carry themselves like a certain way, no matter what their husband over there doing, and they're gonna guard him and protect him and make sure, you know what I'm saying, that his image is protected as well. And that's the only thing that I could think that she means by it.
I can see that. I can see that. And now, we in today's world where women aren't too keen on protecting the man's image. So now the views of our culture is looking different now, because women are basically acting different, and men are still acting the same. Like we
Yeah,
still,
I almost feel like women
yeah.
have started to just more accept the way that men behave, and like men been behaving this way since forever, right? But women have been holding this air, like, okay, I know he over across town with this woman, but I'm a lady and I'm gonna X Y Z. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And I think the next generation started coming up. They like, he over across town. Okay, I'm going over across town too. Like,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see it. I see it. I see that. I see that now. I see that now. So in that regards, I would, like, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
because the world is different. Even from when I was in high school to now, the way I view men and women have changed, and the only thing I can see that has really made a big change is the way that women are acting and the way that women are carrying themselves now. And I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing or a good thing, because I feel like it's a good thing for women, and I just feel like it's a bad thing for the men that just don't want to accept that change. Like, they're just not accepting the fact that women are empowered now, and women are making choices for themselves instead of them.
Okay.
I think women have always had the power, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just haven't been, obviously we live in a male dominated society where, things try to get, they try to push women to the back, but I think women always had the power. I mean, got to think about it like this. If you think about all your great leaders, they often had, strong women behind them, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, most, I'm not sure about you and your family or whatever, but if you got to come up with a major decision, I'm sure you're going to go discuss it with your wife first, right? The woman, she just got such a keen insight on different things that a guy just don't even, we might miss the whole picture on a whole bunch of things. And mostly because the woman, her view is just so well rounded over ours, right? So I'm gonna I'm gonna ask my wife some stuff that I probably ain't even really think about first, and she might give me some whole nother insight, like, but man, baby, you might need want to take a look at this. Woo, woo. Then now I got to take another different look at or a different approach at the whole situation,
well,
and
you
I
don't
just think
have to.
I mean,
Right.
no, I don't have to, but I will. I mean, just me. I'm gonna consider what she said. That's
Right.
this type of person I am because I like making the good right choice, right? Because I don't like
Right.
having to keep coming back 100 times to redo the job over and over again, right? So I'm gonna take everything in consideration. Then I'm gonna make my choice. Whether right or wrong. I'm gonna live or die by my choice,
No,
but
I kind of that still goes into kind of what I was saying. I really kind of do agree with you. That like that's what I think is her thought process, right? Like you go behind this man on the back burner somewhere, and you help him. You push him to XYZ. Like where you supposed to, like where he's supposed to be. And if you're not doing that, then look at how wayward they are. Like I feel like that's kind of what she's thinking. Like. Because I mean, even when you think about it, it comes from religion, it comes from everything. Like the woman came out the man's rib, she has helped me, like all of these things. So it's like you're supposed to be the one that's behind the scenes doing all the stuff. That's the backbone of it, right? But women have that, but that's not power. That's not power. Like especially when women were considered property for a long time. Like that's not power. So I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, like for instance, like some of your great presidents, you even hear stories about like how the woman actually was the one behind the scenes, really controlling everything and pushing the agenda, and the guy just happened to be the face. Only because we
Yeah.
lived in a time, or we was in a time where like the women empowerment movement just wasn't out
Because
there
she didn't
yet,
have
right?
any other choice. That was
Yeah,
the only way that she could influence anything was through a man because she didn't have any power.
and I think you guys still influence a lot of things to this day. You know what I'm saying? In so many different ways because, man, you
And I
guys
think
just
we don't
talent.
want to. I think we gonna do what we want to do, and you go influence yourself and figure it out.
Well, I mean, man, I guess sometimes I think of, when I get to speak and I think of being in a marriage, right? You know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
speak as from that standpoint. But I guess you're right. Thinking about someone who's single, a young lady who's single ain't thinking about her husband, and she's looking at them other single dudes over there who ain't about nothing, who ain't really doing nothing, and she's like, nah, I ain't gonna be fooling with that nonsense or whatever. So, I don't know.
All right, y'all. So we have Jovo with us now. Hey,
Hey,
lady.
lady,
What's up?
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
back like you never left.
Cheers.
All right, we're talking about the quote by Philisha Rashid, "Where the women go, the culture goes." Deron, you've been a little quiet over there. What do you think?
Oh, I was just listening to everybody say thoughts, gather my thoughts.
Yeah,
Basically, I can see how it goes both ways. I can see the positive in it because, you know, women, especially black women, do influence the culture heavily from the style to the fashion to the music to the even to the vernacular and the vocabulary, you know. So, and then we also see how like basically like how trying to figure out how to say this politically correctly how other races take like what the black woman does like style fashion vocabulary etc and how they appropriate it into their culture. So on that hand I can see, but I can also see on the other I can also see the other aspect of it, like because basically in that same sentence, like in that same aspect, when you take all those things and they become something negative or the media turns into something negative, it comes back around to black women. Oh well, hey, we got that from the black woman, we got that from the women. So you know I can kind of
okay,
see both sides to it.
yeah. I think it's just such a definite statement, and I think that's the problem with it. It like women do have a lot of influence, right, on where the culture. But if you're going to take this statement and run with it to the point where you're saying that everything that's good and bad about the culture is because of women, then that's problematic.
Exactly.
Mrs. Jovo, you just left. I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you what you thought. Yeah.
I'm here. Yep. I kind of agree with what you just said, Ashley. It's such a definite statement, and I all this pressure on women, you know, just all this pressure. Like if with that statement, you think that we the only beings on the face of the earth. Like, really, honestly, like we the end all to be all, and we're not. Like, I think that statement lacks accountability. I really do think it lacks accountability. In a culture now where they're trying to tell us that we're not accountable, they're making statements about us that lack accountability. Like, where is the accountability? Like, we're not the entire Black culture. We're not the entire world. We're not the entire anything. Okay, that's a lot of pressure to put on one gender and one specific group of women. I mean, we obviously have some influence when it comes to like fashion and music and, you know, all those things. But to say that, you know, where the culture goes, you know, you'll find us like we're the basis and the foundation of that. Like, I'm tired of being Black and strong.
Now,
I
do
wanna
you,
be strong all the
so do
time.
you think it comes from like the whole trope of like the strong Black woman that has to be like the backbone of
I
the
do.
community?
I do. Like,
Okay.
I think, you know, I love me some Philisha Rashid, but like, you know, she got to come out of that Claire Huxtable character at some point. Like, we ain't never see Claire at her messiest or at her lowest. It was always, they always find a way to justify like her character. And I think she need to come out of character with this statement. Like, we are not the end all to be all. Like, really, honestly, we're not. Like, there needs to be some responsibility taken from the men. You know, like all this whole culture of, well, if a wife will do this and if a woman would do this, then I can act this way. No, 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 no. I think y'all mentioned that before I came on. I was listening to the show. Like, people need to take accountability for their actions and their behavior. Like, honestly, you know, if you want to be a husband, you're gonna be a husband. If you want to be a wife, you desire to be a wife, you're going to behave in a way. And when you don't do those things, it is not because of your spouse. It's because of you. Ultimately, you
It's your
control
choice.
yourself.
Yeah, you choose. Yeah.
Yes, it's a choice. Like all behavior, as I say every other week, all behavior is a choice. Like, me being a good wife is not super contingent on the type of husband that I have, or vice versa. Like, he chooses to be a husband, I'm gonna choose to be a wife. And if I value marriage and if I value, you know, certain things in my life, then I'm gonna move in a way that shows that I value those things. That's just all it is to it. Like, this whole boldness of, you know, people just like laying all of this on us. Like every topic you bring up is gonna come to Black women. Child support, Black women, we want too much. Infidelity, Black women out here acting all wild, they ain't at home, so that's why we acting out. Like I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
She didn't make me put on a condom.
Right. Or my favorite one
Who
that I read
that?
today. My favorite
Man.
Well, if
The men that
y'all
don't
would
want to
just
have babies.
if y'all would just choose better men, then the baby mama and the baby daddy culture wouldn't even would be
Y'all chose
non-existent.
them. You picked them.
You chose that man, and I'm just like,
Y'all
oh
chose
my
each other.
God, right? But I'm telling y'all, and my co-host will tell you, you fall down that rabbit hole, you meet some people along the way, they really are super convinced that it is Black ruining culture all across the globe, as it relates to family, as it relates to career, as it relates to education. Like, it's like nobody wants to take responsibility for their actions, and it's aggravating.
I like that.
So,
Devin, did you have something you want? I think you wanted to ask Ms. Jovo something.
I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But I mean, but going off what you said, I mean, I don't believe in the whole let's blame this person or blame that person for how things are going. You know, we can't sit around and blame it on the women when it's obviously, I mean, men need to step up too. You know, I think you know, women, you guys do play such an amazing role in our culture in itself, but the guys do too, right? You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be the guys that's supposed to be leading. I think we kind of talked about that on our last show. You know, y'all was asking like, what are guys that's being pretty much we just say accountable. You know what I'm saying? Accountable for they position or accountable for what they did. Like, I mean, I'm glad I don't have no situation where I got baby mamas and stuff like that. I mean, because I do see some guys that do go through that. Thank God for the ones that's able to get some good co-parenting, but for the other ones where they can't or they don't come around or don't I feel that every kid needs their parent, right? I grew up without my pops around. Well, my real father around. Thank God for my great stepfather. He stepped in to be a man, but imagine if he did. It would
Yeah.
have been another situation where another young black boy growing up in a home without a father around or a positive male role model that he can see on a daily basis or that he can have a true relationship with. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool to have uncles and you know big brothers, but it's like there's something different from a father. There's something different from this experience that I can give to my kids, right? Same for
Yeah.
Triple OG. It's something different for him as a man in the years that he's been. He know what different mistakes to not make and make, and he can easily tell that to his child, right? Is to having that bond and that relationship. I remember growing up like, man, where is um my real pop said. I mean, I had that question, but I'm saying like moms are around and the women are around, and I think that's how they influence the culture so much. I think that's how you guys got it because the woman is always there. I should say, right? And I also think that a lot of guys do things to impress women. Sorry if I got
Yeah,
off topic.
but I you know what? I also, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I also think that a lot of that comes from, even if we look at like media and tropes and things like that, the responsibility to change a man is always put on a woman. And I think men and women think that that's true. Because I've heard so many men say, oh, when I get the right woman, I'm going to change for her. No, you're not. No, you're not. You can only change for yourself because there's never going to be a person that's so perfect that you're just going to be like, oh my God, they going to do something to make you mad. They going to do something. And if that's your behavior, that's your behavior. But people really feel like that. And it's like, even if you look at like kids movies, Beauty and the Beast, like just all of these movies and all of this media where it's like, it tricks people into being like, you have this guy that's acting a certain way or then he meets the right woman, then now he's changed all of his ways. And oh my God, you know what I'm saying? So I just think that I think that it's a dangerous kind of idea. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I
even
think it holds a lot of
I think
weight,
we was
though.
watching the Best Man the other day, and he said, yeah, once I get married, that's gonna curb my appetite to cheat. How, sir? Like,
No, I don't agree with
no,
that.
it's not.
I think her comment does hold a lot of weight because of what's going on in the world right now with the women's movement and how impactful it has been and all the changes. Even when you just think about sports, and I always relate to sports because I watch sports. I'm a guy, I'm into that. So you can see a lot of change in the world through sports, and you see like how soft sports has gotten because of the women's impact in sports and mothers being more involved in their kids' lives. Because at one point, these kids was being worked 2 a day, football practice 2 a day, 3 days. That's against the law now. Like they can't even
You
work
think
them
that's
like.
because of women?
No, man, I can't agree
Oh
with you
yeah,
on that one, dog.
yeah.
I think it's more.
Women
I
start
think it's a
coming
lot
to them practices. Women start coming to they kids' practices. They start that women in practice, and they start complaining about how they kids was getting treated, and how the coaches was yelling at them and cursing at them and paddling them. Because back in the day, when I was coaches had paddles sometimes. All that stuff is out the door because again.
What
Now
about the injuries?
Yeah,
what about the millions of dollars that they pay that they just don't want to see they players out there hurt because they
right. I ain't
listen,
seen but one woman in that movie Concussion. I ain't seen but one woman in that movie Concussion. It was all men, and the theme of that movie was they knocking the hell out of us. And by the way, we having mental health issues and people like offing themselves because of the brain injuries given by
CTC.
football.
So what do you think they did? What do you think they did for that? They put another layer in a helmet. Okay, we still hit cracking each other. Pow. Ain't nothing changed.
See, it's a generational.
I don't want to blame it on women. Yeah. That's all.
It's not me. No. I'm not. See, when I say the change, I'm not blaming women for the change. Is good in my eyes. It's like kids are not passed out on the field. They not being dehydrated on the field. Like this was happening in real life. So now, not just sports. With the way we talk to kids, it's more nurturing now. It's just not we whooping ass. Like when men and back in the day, it was very hard. Take this, take that, be a man, toughen up, this and that. You're getting your ass whooped. Now everybody has to fall in line with being a little bit more sensitive, and they mostly correlate that with women, right? Oh, you that's the woman's job to be nurturing and sensitive and talk to a kid this way. No, that's everybody's job. You know, I don't sit up here and just curse my kids out and talk mean to my daughter just because I'm the man. No, I have to find some I have to find my softer side, which men don't want to really tap into. You know what I'm saying? And I have to talk to the kids the way they need to be talked to. And the world has changed in that way. Like you don't like your ass go to jail if you out in public and you start doing some of the shit you was doing back in the day. Yeah, someone's calling the police on your ass.
And the thing is, we need to call emotional intelligence what it is, and two of the components is awareness and regulation. So really, it's not even about being soft. Like when I hear these men sit up in these spaces
Yeah, I
talking
just
about
use
how
the
women
word because
gotta,
people
right?
know
Yeah, I know why
yeah.
you use the word. I just want to clarify. Like when we sit up in these spaces and I hear all these men talk about how women are not objective and they don't know how to stick to the facts and they're so emotional. But then they'll turn around in the same conversation. Oh, women need to have more emotional intelligence, and I really be wanting to tell them, what do you think we're trying to implement here? We're just really literally telling you that when you go out there and start fighting, you can go to jail. Like you got to learn how to self-regulate. Like what is not objective about that? Like I think that like I said in my comment right here, she is a fictional character. She is not real. Okay, I know no Claire Huxtables. Okay, you might know some people that come close, but I think that in this case, Miss Rashad, she represents that persona of Claire Huxtable, and I think it went to her head a little bit because we can't just be responsible for everything in the culture. We can't like the culture gonna go. I mean, look at the culture of all these shows on TV that talk about selling drugs. Like women responsible for that too. Because in all the shows I've seen them selling dope, you might have one or two women up there,
Like,
but the rest of it is men.
I think the balance is coming to. I think up here when men was like really running everything, it was like all the way up is extreme. Now women are stepping in and it's balancing everything out. And the way it's balancing out, no one wants to give up that power or that control. So that's why you got the men's resisting things because men want shit to be the way it used to be. Like I call the shots no matter what the case is, and we gonna do things this way. Now the power dynamics is coming, it's being more balanced, and which is a good thing because you need balance with everything. Like you need to be soft, you need to be hard, you need all of that, but you don't just need one parent to be this and one parent to be that. So now that women are like trying to balance the scale of most basically everything because y'all was so far behind. So now when y'all catching up, so to me it seemed like y'all catching up like y'all cheating.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Because
Like y'all cheating.
like I have prime example is what's going on social media right now. It's so weird. I'm seeing so many people comment. I guess Meg the Stallion has a challenge or something like a twerk challenge or something like that.
I seen that.
I didn't even see it. I probably saw like maybe one twerk video or something, but I didn't see it just all over my timeline. Just people shaking butts.
It's a great watch.
What?
It's a great watch. You got to watch it.
Anyway, so I the thing is I saw like some commentators, like some female commentators saying things like black women in 2017 had a $5 what was it, $5 not income but wealth or whatever, and was like, and we out here twerking. It's like, no, we not. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, these people could twerk over here. Like why is y'all acting like these people deciding to dance on camera over here is somehow impacting all of this other stuff? Like, these same people probably going to school, probably doing all of this stuff. Like, and then the people that you even complaining about, like the people who are more likely to do it, like mostly I've been seeing a lot of celebrities and stuff doing it. They don't got $5 worth of wealth. They got a lot of wealth. So they don't have nothing to do. It's like, it's just this weird thing where it's like they want to take the most negative aspect or the most or whatever they see as the most negative aspect and then just broaden it and make it this big. Like, how many people really did the twerk challenge? Like, how many, like, if you really counted it, how many women out of all the women really did it? And how many was even black? I'm sure it was white women doing it too, Hispanic women doing it too, all this other stuff. But somehow, because a black woman twerked on camera, now we can't make no money.
We got Glorilla, Sexy Red, Meg Thee Stallion,
we the whole
Johnny
reason
Blaze.
for the low literacy rates, like the kids can't read, like everything, like because of
y'all out there twerking.
Like, and it's just weird to me. It's weird to me.
It's not weird. It's weird. It's not weird. It's aggravating. That's what it is. See, I'm getting a little aggravated in my older age. I am so sick and tired. Like, if people really knew what average Black women had to deal with on a regular basis, I can promise you on everything I love, the last thing on my agenda is trying to twerk in somebody's camera. A lot of us are just like Candace said. We are going to school. We have jobs. We have responsibilities. Like, we getting up in the morning and cooking breakfast. We making sure everybody getting out the house on time.
But even the ones that's twerking is probably doing that too. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a dance.
Exactly. Like, I want one of them. And y'all know, and Ken, I know exactly who you're talking about. These dum-dums, okay, and all these other certain groups and a certain show. I want you to look Beyonce in her face and tell her, "You have no value. You're twerking." Okay, right. like, and I'm not trying to compare myself to Beyonce. I know I'm not Beyonce. Okay, right. Far from Beyonce. She got a whole different thing, whatever. But I'm just saying, like,
but it's exhausting. Like, even looking at that, and people could call it vulgar, people could call it whatever they want, but I just feel like in Black women even having fun, like it's a fun thing that they
people are so jealous and hate.
And it's like you just trying to be like, you're ruining society. Like, no, they're not.
Girl, you know we can't have fun. You know we got to be we got to be sitting up here like Rosa Parks on the bus.
Right.
Loretta Scott King. What is my Coretta? Where's my Coretta?
So the problem is that you guys, okay, because when I look at the statement, I said, what do women go, the culture goes, right? I mean, I hear you guys talking about, coming from a more negative side, like all the negative things that the women doing. Y'all don't want to have no association with that at all. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not that we don't want to have any association. We don't want to be labeled as just that one thing. We're multifaceted. That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's some women over here twerking, but it's also women going to school. It's also women taking care of their kids. It's also women getting money. Like, stop. Like, other people are picking one thing and being like, because what I'm saying is, it was weird to me today specifically, because I'm sure it's a minority of women in general that's doing the twerk contest with Meg. Like I say, I only saw one video, but everybody's talking about it like it's the apocalypse or something. Like what is like why are you choosing?
But you understand is because people don't have nothing to talk about, right? Yeah. I mean, most people sit on, this tool right here, it can make or break a person, obviously. True. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they either doing one or two things. Either they're scrolling all day, looking at what everybody else doing, or they using the tool to either make some money, or they just ain't using it at all. They're like, no, I can't mess with that, right? You got just three different people who really use social media. Some use social media to create their whole life, create the image that they want to portray, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody ain't got two wooden nipples to rub together, but I bet you their social media page, I bet you if you look at it, you couldn't even tell, right? You get what I'm saying? So it just, it, like you said,
social media rich, Facebook rich,
right? They Facebook rich, or they, you know what I'm saying, or they just like been faking it, right? They probably would never make it.
They just simply showing the positive side of their life.
What you say?
Or they just simply showing one part of their life.
And that's good too, right? Because we should all have fun. Right, you know what I'm saying? But it's easy for somebody to see somebody else having fun or misjudge what they got going on and then judge it to what they perceive it as. And then now somebody come and they sit and write up a whole article about what they thought they saw. And they could not even
But I guess what I'm saying too is that, like, this whole concept is not new though. Like, it's what's always done, especially to Black women. And it's like almost like a urge that people can't like let go of. Like, as soon as they see, they like, oh, you Black women is doing it. It's
like it seemed like I'm the only one now rich in my Facebook world. I just like I'm the brokest motherfucker on my Facebook page. Everybody else rich. I'm like, God damn, these motherfuckers.
But you know what? To Candace's point, it's also the opposite too. So Devin, I'm gonna give you an example, right? So like from everybody else, say, because in my career, I have people who they look me up on Facebook. I'm a therapist. My clients, when they first meet me, the first thing they want to do, let me see if Ms. Mosley going to accept this social media request from me. The quick answer to that question is no.
No,
but
right.
They'll look me up, right? And then like if I'm out and about, you know, and I'm part of an organization or I'm doing this, I have this in my career, whatever. If I'm out dancing, like at, you know, I'm having fun at a sports bar with friends, you know, I've actually had men and women, you shouldn't be dancing like that on your husband in public. But then if I'm not dancing,
they gonna tell you
and I'm not right, and I'm not doing and I'm not doing all of that. Why are you so stiff, Jovo? You need to loosen up. Black women can't win with some of y'all. Let's just go ahead and lay our cards out on our table. Some of y'all, we ain't gonna be able to win. Y'all gonna have to complain about us. We either too churchy, or we too loose, or you a spade. You just go both ways. Just
I think that's what everybody
say out loud, right? that no matter what we do, you always gonna see us a certain way. Just say that like making I can immediately not deal with you because I ain't got time for it.
But I'm telling you, it's just so weird to me. It's like
it's exhausting.
Trying to make, it's like I don't get how we get to 2024 after all the centuries of stuff that have taken place and all the systemic things that's going on, and we like sexy red is the reason why the society is like it is. It's like how do you get to this result of society and then decide that she's the ill of society?
They're trying to blame. They're literally trying to blame this girl.
Like she is not the reason for low literacy rates. She is not the reason why we're not making enough money. She's not the reason for none of that. Like all of this stuff has been going on. Like we was out here. We was out here with our little long skirts on and our little hair and our little buns and our glasses on. And we still wasn't making enough money. So I'm so confused. Like it just don't make no sense. Like how are you just blaming? It's like they always want to find the lowest hanging fruit and the easiest thing to like blame. And a lot of times, unfortunately, for whatever, it's a black woman. It just do be. It just be like, she did this, so that means that she's the reason why all these people. It's like what?
Dang. I guess I never really paid attention. I'm gonna have to start keeping my eyes open and just get out of my own world because
you gonna see it. They losing their mind.
Yeah, it's true because when something goes wrong,
put me on to some new insight that I just really wasn't even like damn, this is going on.
Because when things go wrong, don't no one say what look what Snoop Dogg did to society. Or look what Uncle Luke did to society.
The baby.
Look what the baby has. They don't say that. They always use black women as the face of negativity for our culture, and it is wrong because
Young Thug is on trial right now for racketeering and like all of this like stuff. Right? You have all of it, but none of them but they actually
none of them are the face of black people.
Like, they actually commit actual crimes and dragging other people into their crimes, and it's a whole network of people that's now criminals and got records. But that's not what's wrong with society. It's because Sexy Red is on stage barefoot, so that just ruined life. Like I don't understand.
Is it hip hop culture? Is it more of a hip hop culture that we looking at? You know what I'm saying? Is this what kind of like?
Well, we can't say that hip hop culture is the culture. It is, and I realized that when I was living in Iowa, like over 20 years ago, and this old white lady came into the store I was working in, and she came to the jewelry counter. She was like, "I have to give me some bling bling." I was like, I was so mad. Like, what the? Like, how's she not? Like, what? It's like it's become the whole lexicon. Like, who doesn't say that? So hip hop is the culture.
Do you know in 2000? I think it was 2005, 2003 through 2005. Do you know that they had an explosion of people who lived in OC, Orange County, California, Southern California? They had an explosion of people. These people were driving all these expensive cars. All of a sudden, in the OC, rims on their car. These girls are wearing grills to the proms. And I don't know if y'all know about Ocean, California, Orange County. They so white out there, but they love our culture. They all do. Our culture. You hear me?
That's why I say
my God. I went to college with somebody like that. She came from California to Georgia to go to college. And I remember we were talking or whatever, and she just all of a sudden changed her accent. And I just had to tell her, like, don't do that. I was like, I know you think it's cool, but I talk like this for real. Like, don't do that.
It's like,
and she just told me,
I feel like you can't look anywhere in American society and not see the influence of hip hop. Like whatever. Like it is the culture. Like it just is.
That's it. Yeah. Look at Eminem. That's all Eminem know.
Hey, hip hop
He was
was
born
cool.
into it.
Hip hop was cool, and what everybody want to be cool, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess when you kind of start looking at it that way, I
Have
mean,
y'all
but
seen the
the
preacher
images that they,
online?
I was about to say, the images that they put out there, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what people got that everybody started judging off of. Because you
But
look at the hip hop culture, you say, oh man, my baby want to be like Cardi B. Well, I mean, not saying there's nothing wrong with them or nothing like that. I mean, they doing their thing, you know. But if you basing everything off of what kind of like pushing people to pretend or create these particular images or live this particular lifestyle or what they think is cool, then I guess we gotta look and dive into hip hop a little bit and see how that's really shaping and influencing the overall culture. Because hip hop is also giving a portrayal of the women. They also giving a portrayal of the men. Just think about if all the hip hop artists was rapping about black business on or being a business owner or really, but now it's a lot of
then nobody would
drugs,
listen
killing,
to it.
after bees. You know what I'm saying? You
Nobody would listen to it. See, this is the thing that I think humans don't never want to admit and just accept. We like messy. We like drama. We like kerfuffle. Like we like all of that stuff.
I like all that shit too. But go ahead. Go ahead.
So it's like we can't even blame in a lot of ways now that we have these devices and we have the option to consume the things that we want to consume. We can't blame media talking about media is giving me all these images. No, that's the stuff you clicking on. That's your choice. That's what you following. Like we can't even say that no more. So it's like I could have nothing but stocks all up and down my thing, like right, like because that's what I'm looking at. That's my algorithm. But that's not the choice. What you gonna see a messy headline? Ooh, what she didn't did? They didn't get into it. Oh, and you looking at it and it bumps the algorithm up.
Somebody hacked my algorithm.
And then and then people get mad and be like, why is this all up and down my timeline? Because that's the stuff that you're engaging with.
Yeah.
Like it's you. Mm-hmm. Like if you don't care about it, go engage with some other stuff then.
Right.
And I think that we have to be so careful with just that because like it really does affect our perception of the world and of people. You know,
right.
Like, I think that now you see so much of the sexy reds and the women on the social media talking about they need a man that make $500,000 and women who you see sometimes a lot of the negative side, if you consider that negative. Some people don't, but you see a lot of one thing basically. And so now it's like that's the image that some people are trying to perpetuate about Black women. And that's why I get so annoyed with some people, like when you speak up, like when I speak up about those things on my own personal Facebook page. I have like a handful of girls that'll be on my page like, well, that's not real life. Men aren't really like that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but this is real. This is happening, so acting like it's not happening is not helping us. We as Black people in general, and specifically Black women, because I'm talking about Black women right now, like we have to like take control of our image again, because now we're allowing people to kind of like paint us all as one thing,
But don't you think that that's the choice of them? Like I guess what I'm saying is that like whatever gets attention is gonna get the most, you know what I'm saying? Like the blog's gonna talk about it the most, like all of this other stuff. So it's like I feel like it's always been a choice to mislabel us.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Like so, it's women right now that just graduated from college yesterday. Who posting about that? Nobody.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
that's what I'm saying.
Like that's a choice, and it's like I hate to blame. Like I say, I just feel like I hate to blame other Black women because they living in their truth. Whatever they got going on is their business. But it's like somebody literally is going over there, picking them up and being like, "Let me see what you're doing over here," and then
it's like, because people are just
women.
So...
You know what I'm saying? It's like, why did you go over there?
I think y'all both saying the same thing, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think both of y'all saying the same thing, and I think what y'all touching on is real solutions. You know what I'm saying? Like man, it is the choice that you guys make, or the choice.
Hottentot Venus.
You know what I'm saying?
Hottentot Venus. Look it up.
It's because people are so stuck on. They in tune with with who they in tune with, they circle. So, and when I talk to people, and they say certain things, I just look at them like, you ain't really experienced nothing in life, because if you did, your outlook wouldn't be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't sit up and be like, oh, all these sexy reds. That mean, like who do you hang around that doesn't show you anything different from sexy reds? Like, if it, and I'm gonna be truthful, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would be stuck in that world of like
Boy, look at that
ratchetness.
boy. He
Like,
say got a good woman behind him.
like,
Look
yeah,
at
like,
that boy. Look at
she
look
brought it
how
to
he
my
talking about
attention
how
a
that
long
woman
time
influencing
ago.
the culture.
You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
go
Like,
ahead. Go ahead
she
now.
brought it to my attention a long time ago. Like, nah, this is not what's going on. And like, if you go on my page, you go see all the ratchet stuff, and you go on my wife's page, you're not gonna see that stuff. So by me having that example to know like, nah, this is not life. You know what I'm saying? It's more to life than the sexy reds and this twerk challenge. This is just a small little peek hole of what's going on. And when people just consume their life with that, they gonna think that's what it's all about, because they
Well,
don't
but the
travel, they
thing
don't
is,
have
I feel
friends
like
in the other areas.
black women have always been seen as hypersexual to justify the abuse of black women. Black women's bodies have always been judged, and like I said, look up Hot and Top Venus. That was way back in the day. They got her butt on display, all types of shenanigans, right? So it's not.
How you
You know
spell
what
that?
I'm I hate it's like HOTTEN
Put it in the chat.
Hot
Somebody.
and Tot. Okay, yeah, I put in the thing. But yeah, it's just like this is not new. So it's like when we say we need to take our image back, from who? From where? You see what I'm saying? Like, people are choosing. It's like, whereas before it did used to be the media like putting those images back to us, right? But it's like now you don't necessarily have that, but we subconsciously doing it to ourselves now, finding the worst possible representation and being like, this represents us, we got to take it back. It's like, no, we don't.
That's the hip hop. That's the
I mean,
culture. We already know where the influence coming from. We just said it's the music, right? You know what I'm saying? The music is putting this person out there. The music then put the young lady who just graduated from college, right? You know what I'm saying? So the different media platforms that we able to use, or that we do use. I mean, like I said, both of y'all saying the same thing. You know, it is some control that must be had at the same time.
Well, the money at
pass, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, you know, make sure that it's representative of what's the truth. Like, why is this sexy red? Why is she even being the topic of discussion? Has what she do? How she, not necessarily how she look,
because like people like it. People like to see a train wreck. Like, that's the thing I want people to accept for themselves.
But what I'm saying is, like, and I think, like, we agree, like, you're right. Our image has never really been in our control, but we do in 2024 have a little bit more influence on what we put out there about ourselves. So I think that it's very difficult to do that, because we still don't have control over the major TV shows and radio shows, but we do have more influence than we did before. So you're right, we never really had control. So I shouldn't say take back control, but our image is our image, and so it's like we have to somehow.
But don't you think people are like choosing to look at the train wreck?
Yes, I agree. But that's what I'm saying. I think we should be a little bit more conscious about it. And I get it. It's entertainment. Like, I get it.
Everything is 50-50.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't have, everything is not going to be wholesome. You know what I mean? That's not reality. But the problem is that right now it's a little lopsided. Like, we don't see enough positive images of Black women.
But that's kind of what I'm asking. I feel like people don't want to sit and watch positivity. Like,
but that's the problem.
If like right now, if we sat here and started like arguing with each other and calling each other names and acting a total fool, it probably go viral. You see what I'm saying? Because people want to see that. They don't want to see just.
Well, you need to shut the fuck up then. Right now, goddamn it. Shit. Let's get it cracking then.
That's all that I be saying. Like, all the people make this choice every day. So but to pretend like it's like this phantom person that's putting it to you. Like, no, they not. You chose to look at that. You did not have to sit up there and spend 30 minutes going figuring out what Krishan Rock and freaking Blueface was doing. You didn't have to do that. You chose.
But even
and
if people,
and then you mad somebody, why I keep seeing them all up and down my timeline? Because you keep clicking on it, you keep looking at it, you keep reading it.
but
like,
even the most ratchet celebrities or famous people or social media characters, they even have it's still 50-50 with them too. Half the people like him, half the people don't. LeBron James, half the people like him, half the people don't. He ain't done nothing to nobody. Like Dennis Rodman, half the people like him, half people. It does not matter what you do in your life. You're gonna have some people gonna like you, some people gonna love you, and everybody needs to just be acceptive of their own image that they putting out there. Like, you need to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing stuff to love yourself, then you go look at everybody else and how they view you. Like no, just worry about how you view yourself, because everybody's not gonna like you.
I've said I think that the best thing that Black people can do is reject the notion that any one group or one small person represents us, because other groups, another group, a larger group don't have to deal with that, right? We always gonna be fighting an uphill battle. Like, that's what I always say when you do these respectability politics. It's like you're never gonna be able to go around and find every person that's Black and be like, act like this. Like, that don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to even have that standard is ridiculous. We need to reject it. Like, no, you're gonna respect me as an individual, and that's what it's gonna be. You're not gonna be looking at Sexy Red and be like, oh, you like Sexy Red. No, you're not. Like, you're not gonna do that. Like,
right. It's just what I said. People need to be honest in terms of Black women. For some of these people, Black women will never be. We can't control your perception. I can't control how you see me in terms of me being a Black female. I can't control how you view my outcomes when I do certain things. We don't have control over other people. We can influence them, but at the end of the day, if the outcome is completely opposite than what we expected, then it is what it is. You know, we don't have control over outcomes. We don't have control over in terms of other people, how they see us. We don't have control over that. And so it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't in certain situations. The people who applaud you, great. They may see something great that you did and it may inspire them. And then you got people who they'll never see you like that. You know, they'll never, ever, they're going to always find a reason to not applaud you, or one reason, or 10 reasons, or a million reasons. They're going to find a reason. And people just, I think where it starts is, instead of us talking about how, you know, where the culture, you know, goes, that's where Black women are. Why don't we need to get back to talking about, like, how do you empower the better part of yourself, your inner self, to do better things in your life individually. Like, people keep talking about how society needs to change and how the Black community needs to get better, but nobody ever wants to hear that statement that our community starts with you within and then it spreads abroad. Like, nobody never likes to talk about that. It's easier for us to do the blame game. It's Black women, it's Black men, it's Black kids, it's Black this, it's Black that. And it's like, it starts with you. Change always starts with self. It always starts with self. I don't care how you wrap it around. It always starts with self. And it's easier for me to blame a group of people than for me to look at my faults and look at my you know, my transgressions, what I need to work on, and work on that. It's easy for me to blame a group than for me to look at the ugly side of myself. For some of these people, not everybody, but for some. You know, so I just, you know, like I said, it gets exhausting after a while. It's either I'm too Black, it's either I'm not Black enough, it's either you too educated, you're not at home enough with your family, or oh, you live so simple, you know. And it's just like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Like, the last time I had this conversation with a group of friends, I shut my part down by simply saying, however you see me, that's who I am. And they were like, what? And I was like, because I can sit up here and write a summation on who I am. However you want to see me, that's how you're going to see me. Doesn't really matter. That's how you're going to see me. It will take a special spiritual being to change your mind about me. Because as long as you say, I'm going to see you like this, that's how you're going to see me. For some people, all we going to be are Black women who are loud, or who are too sexy, we too this and too that. And so to those people who gonna always see us that way, or whatever, so we can limit and tell us who you are, so we can limit our contact with you. because we sick of you too. I'm just saying.
Do y'all ever think about like the famous people whose images has changed? Did they really change their image, or did our perspective of them change? You know what I mean? Like Snoop Dogg, like is he like this family guy now, or are we just looking at him differently? Did he really change, or was he a family guy when he was doing um bashing women and stuff like that?
Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah,
Right.
was that him, or did we just did we just overlook?
That's an excellent point, Darwin. Because really, honestly, probably the whole time Snoop been a rapper and been married, maybe he wasn't the best husband, maybe he wasn't the best father, but that doesn't make him any less of a husband or a father. You see what I'm saying? Like, just like the rest of us, where maybe year one of marriage, you wasn't the same guy as you might have been, like, evolved. Like, people be forgetting that these people are, like, they're literally people. That's just like when Meg the Stallion came out and started talking about her mental health or whatever. And then you had these group of people over here talking about, oh, she's refining her image because she in a different tax bracket. And I'm like, that sounds so stupid. Like, maybe she's getting older. Maybe she's experiencing some losses and some experiences. Maybe she's evolving because, newsflash, she a person just like me and you are. Like, if you cut Meg, she gonna bleed blood just like if you cut me. Like, at the end of the day, we're all people and we evolve and change.
And I just brought that up to say, like, and I just brought that to say, like, regular people like us without these big platforms, it's gonna be very hard for us to change our image. And if these people with these platforms and all these resources can't even change their image, then don't worry about what people think of you, because that's just what the fuck they gonna think, because what they've been through in life and how their mind is warped and what they've been watching, what their experiences and stuff like that. Like it's a lot of them. Like if you saw Snoop, if you show someone some videos of Snoop in 1992 and then showed him today, they be like, whoa, was he on drugs back then? Or like, was it something? It's like, it's because his image
man was on trial for offing somebody.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like
he definitely was on trial for murder.
Yeah, his image is very, very different, and it's not too many people I see whose image has changed like that. It's a couple though. It's a couple, because
it's just like this Hulu this Freaknik special. You know, people saying stupid stuff online. Oh my God, this Freaknik special gonna ruin some of y'all lives about y'all parents. And it's like, do you hear yourself? Okay. Cause y'all, yeah, you know, you ain't gonna see Miss you ain't gonna see Miss Mosley, Jovo, you ain't gonna see me on the Freaknik special. Now, if they did a Black College Spring Break Daytona edition, now I don't know.
What you was doing, Miss Jovo?
Miss Jovo,
what you was doing, Miss Jovo?
Okay,
what you was doing, Miss Jovo?
That was not my Escalade, and yes, that was a halter talk. That's all I'm gonna say.
Also, I think though too, I think sometimes people forget that we all live different lives. That's one of the unique things about us, right? You know what I'm saying? We have to look at our uniqueness and really bask in that, which we all do, right? But the average person, right? Because we above average, extraordinary individuals, they just don't do that, right? You know what I'm saying? You think about, I mean, I know where I come from. You know what I'm saying? I know the neighborhoods that I'm in tune with. They don't see it like that, so they are looking at these different images, right? That's perpetuating, they mind to tell them, okay, this is what I need to look like, because that's what I'm looking at as success. You know what I'm saying? And I know all the little kids, and for the teachers and people that whoever talk with kids, all of them want to be more than just what they got, right? I mean, shit, I want to be more than what I am. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine just that the person who's searching for that. You know what I'm saying? They looking at these different images that's played, that's there, right? You know what I'm saying? And young girls, the guys, you know what I'm saying? And so, and I think that's because that's the future, right? We used to be them at one point in time, right? Now look who we are. We the next ones to continue to move the world to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? And so, we all do have a role to play, right? We shouldn't have the black women or any woman labeled as, downtrodden, or, you know what I'm saying, or anything less. So, y'all do have to control the image. I mean, just like the guys got to control the image too. I think we all have a role to fulfill, I guess, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I just see it that way because I'm a parent. You know what I'm saying? I think about that. You know what I'm saying? As my kids get older, what or who they gonna be in this world, right? Am I gonna set them up, or I'm gonna be the one that damage them for the rest of their life, right? You know what I'm saying? So they're just, and if they are damaged, they're gonna be looking for somebody that they can relate to help them see better, right? And what the culture is being shown, as we already said, the music industry, you know what I'm saying, plays a huge role in that. If it's shown the I mean, and if Sexy Red was, who knows where she come from, you know? So I mean, if she made up millions, that's her. That's as an artist, that's who she look like. Who knows who she is? She could be a whole different. She could be the softest, sweetest girl. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
fuck that. She got sex tapes out there. We know what she was and shit.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, then that's what she was doing too. I mean, hey, she made, hey, have it paid off for her, man. That's why, and
She
the coach, I
capitalized on
mean,
that shit though. I give her
you know,
credit.
as culture too, we value money, right? Because
Listen,
we
Yep,
live in
that's
this
it. Money.
society. You know, everybody want it, right? I mean, do you not want more money in your pockets? I definitely know I do. You right? You know what I'm saying? So that my
Yep.
image, which
Everybody
comes
got a
from
price.
rap, because when you see music and you see entertainment, you looking at them, you like, damn, they getting it, right? And half of them broke, right? You know what I'm saying? They got the image, and so people constantly going after this image, and I don't know, then get the kids, they looking up to these images.
that's why we got to ask our kids. It's not telling them what you should and should not do all the time when they get to a certain age. I've started asking my almost 13-year-old, when people see you, what do you want them to see? And do you behave in that way? Like
That's a great
what's
question.
important to you, and do you move according to what's important to you? Because she'll tell you, and I've heard her tell her friends, like, she's really big on, like, my parents are good to me when I do good things, so I don't want to let them down, like, especially her dad. Like, she don't want to disappoint her dad. And she's like, I try to do things to show that, mom and dad, I want you to be proud of me. We're gonna be proud of her regardless. But I also live in the reality that life gonna bump her around a little bit. It's gonna bruise her a little bit. But I always talk about it in analogy to, like, I love antiques. I like old stuff. I like thrifting. Like my J on the wall thrift shop. Like, I love that. You find some stuff in the thrift store that you can't find in the new store. Like, sometimes you need these bumps or bruises to add to your value. Some of these bumps and bruises in life gonna teach some valuable lessons to them. So, I tell her all the time, look, if you fall, you make a mistake, mom and dad gonna be there. But what's important is that when you look in that mirror, or when you open your mouth, you proud of what you hear and you proud of what you see. Because ultimately people gonna make opinions and judgments about you.
Hey, what was
But what
that
is it
question
that you
again?
want to see?
Can you
Like,
share that question again when you get a chance? I'm sorry,
sure,
I mean to
sure,
interrupt you. You know what I'm
sure.
saying? But I ain't
Like,
want
like,
to.
like, like, instead of saying, like, you should do this and this, what do you want to see when you look in the mirror? Like, what do you, when people ask you who you are, what are you gonna say? And I don't always want it to be what my mom and dad said, this, that, and the third, or whatever. I want it to be like her. I always tell people we got these foundational parts in our life. We got how we relate to other people, our intellectual growth, um, our spiritual growth, and our basic life skills. I want her to be able to touch on all of those areas, influenced by what me and her father have taught her. But for her to be her, I don't want her to identify as a black woman just spouting out me. I want her to be her own person. Because I think that's the other part of this too. A lot of us came up in a time where it was and we did a show on this what some while back. Do as I say, not as I do. You know, but then when we got grown, it's a lot of stuff we didn't know how to do because we were robots in our house. The adults told us what to do. And then when we got out on our own, what do we do? We call home. How do I do this? How do I do that? I want to be able to teach her adulting without ordering her around all the time. Like when I say, hey, about cleaning her room, do you know why I tell you to do this? Like, do you know why? Because one day you're not gonna live with mom and dad. I'm not gonna be there to help you clean your room or your dorm room or whatever you're gonna do in life. You need to be organized so you can be on time for stuff. And it's that's what I think we should focus on. It's teaching them how to be their own adults versus smaller versions of us or smaller versions of what people think Black people should be, you know. So
All right, y'all. Thank you, Jovo. Thank all of you. You all had a lot to offer. I mean, a lot to share tonight. I was gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic, our last topic. Y'all ready?
Okay.
All right. So here's the last topic for the night. Are soulmates real? Are soulmates real? What?
Hell
Ashley
no,
want
it
me
ain't
to
real.
Ashley want me to cry tonight. That's what she want me to do. I had to get myself together for this one.
Who wants to
Soulmates.
go
What is
first?
a
Soulmates.
soul?
First, who wants to go first?
What is a soul? What the hell is that? A soulmate. You my soulmate.
So let me look up a definition. So
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna look up the definition. We'll go by that definition. So it says a person ideally suited to another as a close friend or romantic partner. So they're like perfectly suited for each other.
Hell nah, none of that shit. Nope. 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 Nope.
I think so, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna speak of it like this, right? I think I mean, for soulmate, sometimes you don't even understand the person that you end up being around, for a long time. I mean, obviously, y'all that relationship grow, right? So it's like planting a seed. In this universe, these seeds was already planted before we got here, right? You know what I'm saying? And so, if you got perfect harmony inside your marriage or whatever with your friends, you know what I'm saying? Because you said with friendship, and y'all see things. I mean, and it always gonna be great. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Look at it. Let me break it down a little bit. Let me think about it a little bit more. I'm gonna come back to it a little more.
I don't. I'm
Okay.
not giving nothing else no credit for all the work that I know I put in my marriage. Fuck that. This shit ain't perfect. It's hard work, and we doing the work to make this shit how we want to make it. So all that soulmate and things is predestined. No, fuck that. Because if it was that, we wouldn't have to like being married and being with someone for forever. That's hard work, and and I want to be the one to say I did that. I'm not giving my credit to nobody else. No spiritual beings, no Cupid that shot me in the ass. None of that shit happened.
But it's also not romantic, right? You know what I'm saying? Like my best friend, that's my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just like when we're thinking about soulmates, right? I'm not thinking about it as like okay, it just
It
always
sounds
has this
good to
romantic
say.
thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think we all linked in a particular way, right? You know what I'm saying? So I guess when we think about the soulmate, that's probably more of a positive relationship. You know what I'm saying? Just having these different relationships. That's I don't know because the definition also says something about friendship too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you can also have a great friendship with your partner too, right? You know what I'm saying? So I just think
Yeah.
I was just saying like friendship just develop over time, right? From you meet somebody you don't even know. Like we all cool here, right? Is this a perfect soulmate, right? You know what I'm saying? Is we having fun, right? But it
I
all
guess
about
however you want to break down the definition and interpret it. I have no problem with saying my wife is my soulmate, but like
It
just
took
on the
work.
surface, it's like like nah, like we made this shit happen. We made the choices. We made hard choices. We made some was easy, but this is all work. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing is gonna keep us. That soulmate shit ain't gonna keep us together. Like if something happens, I can't be like, but you're my soulmate, and then you're like, nah, nigga, I don't give a fuck about all that shit. You did what you did, this and that. So we got to put some work into it. Like
you could be screaming that down the street. You my
yeah, right.
soulmate.
But I remember, like when we first started the show, you guys were telling your little story about how y'all got together, how y'all were really just like friends, though. Remember? And then like y'all didn't really think y'all were gonna be together, but it turned out that y'all really were kind of just meshing. So you don't think that's a little bit like y'all were kind of meant to be? And then I think about you all's relationship and the dynamics that you all have. Like you have your issues, your conflicts, and things, but you do complement each other well.
Yeah, I definitely think we compatible, and I definitely think it's I found I've got a good partner. You know, she helps me grow. I help her grow. We understand each other. We have the same beliefs, especially when it comes to like religion. I haven't opened. I never opened up to anybody about my beliefs spiritually like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I never felt comfortable with anybody to open up to. Not even family. Like in some family, when I told them like how about my beliefs, they kind of like looked down on me like whatever. Like really didn't understand it. You know, and my wife was the only person that I talked to about it and helped me come to um come to terms with my beliefs,
Okay.
So, I definitely do believe that, you know, it's something special that we have. And, if you want to call it soulmates, you can. Want to call it love, we can. But I don't get too caught up in the words
Okay.
and like the definitions of things because all of it can mean a lot of stuff. So, all I be concerned about is me being a better person every day and making my wife happy and me being happy while doing that,
Yeah.
and it takes work to do it, and hopefully we can do it forever until we die, whatever, and that's all I'm banking on. Like, so I don't want to hold on to the we're soulmates, because I think when people like be fascinated with terms and labels, they
Mhm.
use that as the reason to be with each other. Like, oh, no, you can't do this to me. I've known you for this many years. Like, we've been best. We're married. Like, so who the fuck cares? Just because you're my wife, that don't mean I'm supposed to deal with certain things just because
You
you're my
worry about
wife. No,
that.
fuck that. Like, we go put some work in this shit. We go get this shit together. I don't care about that label. We can toss this shit in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I tell people, like, I don't really care about me and my wife getting married. Like, it wasn't about the court paper that we signed. I didn't care about none of that. It's
Mhm.
about the relationship that me and her built with each other. We could have never signed that paperwork, but we still was gonna have demands and boundaries and standards for each other, with even without
For
some
sure.
dude telling us that without that oath that we signed. So it really don't matter to me about these labels. So
Okay.
that's just me. But I get down with if people like, oh, y'all soulmates, y'all. That's cool. It's cute. It's cute to say.
Okay. All right. Who else? Jobo. Uh-oh.
You muted, Jovo. You muted, Jovo.
Okay. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I married my soulmate. I
Mhm.
did. I
You know
did.
you
I
was gonna
married
say
my
that.
soulmate.
You already know that.
Yeah. No, I did. If you I already said on the show why my husband said he married me. I married my husband because like we literally be finishing each other's sentences. I stand you.
Yeah, well,
We finish each other's sentences. I have experienced a
yeah,
lot of loss in my life, and I can truly say my husband is not the one to he's not really good with illness. He's not good with like death. He's very on surface, like when you meet him, he like this guy and real quiet, but like he really has a heart. Once he gets to know you, he really has a heart for like he want to see people live well and do well. And I think when you talk about soulmate, this is a person who can literally go in an element with you that's uncomfortable for them. So like with sickness, like my grandmother is sick right now, like with sickness, death, illness, that's not his thing. Like it's been my thing that I've had to deal with, but like he's not gonna say, well, that ain't really my thing. I can't help you with that. He's like getting uncomfortable to make sure I'm okay. And I feel like if you find somebody who is able to say, this ain't my thing, but because, I roll with you and I'm loyal to you and I care about what happened to you, I ain't going to be perfect by your side, but I'm going to roll with you through it. To me, that's a soulmate. Like him, my roommate from college, my shout out to Step, like we literally almost like the same person. We've evolved in different areas of our life, but like we have a lot in common. But we've gone through certain life experiences in a similar manner or whatever. And like you just roll with that person. Like I don't even think you got to be together with the person to be their soulmate, because it says a unique deep connection based on mutual understanding and acceptance. Soulmates are folks who even if they break up for a period of time, or if distance or something splits them, they still kind of got each other back, you know. And like I tell people all the time, like all splits ain't permanent, you know. So like you could easily, like I've seen people get divorced and remarried. Like I've seen all as a therapist. So
4 times. I know
once
some
you
people
connect,
did 4 times.
yeah, right. Once you connected to that person, you're connected. And I feel like I got that connection. Like I feel like I'm connected to that person. I really do. Like we just complement each other so well. Like finances and all the business and carry the one and the math. I ain't good at that, but he good at that. But when it comes to like being empathetic and family events and knowing, you know, what's going on with this family member or what we need for the house, I'm good at that. We just complement each other in terms of marriage. But I probably got about 7 friends I can name off the top of my head since I was 18 years old. We just gonna have each other back. And I mean, we can go months and years without even having like deep conversations, but when it's time to ride for each other, we gonna be there. You know, to me, that's what soulmates are. You know, so I believe in spiritual connections. I do. I really, really, really do, for real. Like I
I
really,
got
really
some
do.
good friends too, but I ain't calling they as my soulmate.
But
So
and when you think of soulmate,
I say romantic soulmate and like friend
soulmate sound
soulmate.
romantic, right? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you know, when you think about like your best friends or whoever your boy, you know what I'm saying? Them like to me, I think by definition, right? I'm not gonna call. I
yeah,
ain't
by
gonna holler at my
definition.
homie. I ain't gonna holler my brothers and like that's what we're gonna call. We call my brothers, right? I'm the only child, so they're my brothers. But I think
Yeah,
I get my ass beat. I
verse.
call one of my guys my soulmate. They be like, "Yeah, meet me in
Right.
the gym, dude. Something wrong. You
They
tripping?"
finna go over there and call it, hey bro, you my soulmate. What? Hey,
yeah.
what you say? I said, but nah. But
Now I think it's a real
definition.
thing. Even when you're that person who say you're not like I have a spiritual belief. You know, I believe in God, I believe in the Holy Trinity. But even if you're not that person who believes in that, like I think that you can honestly say there's somebody that you have like this mutual like deep connection to. You see what I'm saying? Like whether it's romantic, whether it's friend based, whatever. I think that connection is like I value those connections in my life. You know, I value being able to connect to somebody who gets me, you know. So I'm in a place that we're in a place in our marriage now, me and my husband, where we see our connection because we both dealing with like, you know, he got a sick parent, I got a sick grandparent. We dealing life is life in right now. And like we still able to laugh and finish each other's sentences and comfort each other and make sure we okay. To me, that's a soul connection. For real. That's how I see it.
Gotcha. Okay. Any other thoughts on that?
Miss
Um,
Jovo, y'all been together for 100 years. Y'all better be motherfucking finishing each other.
Not 100. You so funny. You so funny. You add to my joke. I've been telling people I've been married since I was 12. So forever. But no,
You had
it's
one of
a
them old
don't make
country
me
weddings.
cry.
Y'all was 13 years old. He was like, "Yeah, I got somebody for your daughter. He real nice young man. He's a nice looking young
No.
man. Work
This the
hard
funny
too. He work
part.
hard. He take good care of
This
his
the
daughter."
funny part. We polar opposites. I was born like in the country. He was born in New Jersey. He grew up in like South Florida and then moved to Georgia. Like he
Really?
lived in
Wow.
Texas. Like I can't even say he a Southern boy. Like he just
He was
like he been everywhere as a kid. Then he met now me. I'm quite as country as barefoot people on the side of the road. So I'm country, but he's not really. But that's what makes us great because we just kind of just match up. Like when I met him, it was just like all about him. And I remember making a comment when we were dating. I was like, everything can't be about you and what makes you comfortable. Like you got to be able to have some empathy for another person. And he looked at me and was like, "You sound like my mom." I was like, "Your mom is right. Like you ain't gonna get no good woman with that attitude. Like you can't, So I
okay.
yeah. So it's a connection. It is.
It's good.
yeah, I
Okay.
just think that people are in your life for reasons and seasons. You know what I mean? So I think that you can have different people that are for different things in different times in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's just life.
Exactly.
Like life just be
Yep.
life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Yep.
do think like I guess you can have a deep connection with somebody, but that doesn't mean they're your soulmate, you know? Like this one guy that I dated years ago, like we started out as friends, like friends, you know? And
That's the one that got away, Ashley.
no, he ain't get
Ashley was like, she might have kicked him out the door.
no, no. And at one point I thought that. At one point I thought
Mhm.
that. But then once we tried to be more than friends, I realized no.
Mm-mm.
Practically this ain't gonna work. But I care about him, like, you know what I mean, like, and I believe he cares about me, like, and we gel well together, you know. But it's like as far as being together, that's just something different. So I don't know, I guess you can have like a connection or like, you know, but
Yeah, and it don't have to be romantic. Like you
Right,
can
that's what I'm
No.
saying.
yeah,
Like, if that person was in trouble right now, they called you like, "Hey, I need your help.
right,
Would you help them?"
yes,
You know
definitely,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what my wife
Yeah.
had text. She was like, the soulmate have to be romantic. That's what I'm saying. Like your
okay,
friendship, like you know, romantically, y'all don't work out, right? But you still may be able to be his a friend if you're able to. In that time, you can able to help, right? If you able to help a person, great, right? But you ain't gonna be, you know,
yeah,
hurting yourself to help that person out, right? But I
yeah.
mean,
Right.
but you ain't got no ill feelings towards them or nothing like that. Does that make a person your soulmate? Cause the soul, what if it's a negative soulmate out there? I don't know, right? You know what I'm
I
saying?
know because some people
You
like
talking about a soul tie?
yeah,
Right,
Right.
I mean, not even that. I mean, but that's still part of the soul. I mean,
yeah,
hey, it's got the same words in it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Mate
agree.
and tie, they just say it's the same thing, right? Just if you look up to some synonyms or whatever, some acronyms, hey, you gonna might see some things going on.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That was a good one. We're gonna go ahead and close out the show though, because we're almost at the 2 hour mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. But we gotta do our famous last words. So let's go ahead. Who wants to go first? Famous last words.
I'll go.
All right, you'll go first. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. All right. Uh-oh, hold on. Let me give you the spotlight. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, y'all just need to let these folks twerk. Okay, leave these folks alone. If you don't want to see them twerking, stop looking at it. And I low key just kind of think you jealous. So leave them.
All right, all right. All right, let's go ahead. Who wants to go? Uh-oh, wait a minute. Not me, not me. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay,
I'll
go
go
ahead.
next. Famous last words. Just to top off what Candace said. Don't stop. Get it, get it.
Get it. Don't stop. Get it. Twerk. Twerk.
Y'all,
Cause if we gonna do it, let's just do it.
Right.
y'all a whole mess. Okay, who wants to go next?
I'm just gonna keep it going. Hey, we go celebrate these twerkers. Okay, they doing this for us. It's not all about them. They sharing what they know how to do with the world. I've seen Meg the Stallions challenge. I've seen Johnny Blaze's challenge, Sexy Red's challenge, Glorilla's challenge. I think.
Yeah, we know you saw every challenge that they got out there. You saw it.
I love that your wife in the background.
Meg the Stallion and Johnny Blaze, I think they the two best that I've seen. So if you haven't seen it, yeah, this is free promo for them too. They hey, go ahead and
They
look.
owe you. They owe you.
Yeah, they owe me. They owe me.
Y'all. Okay, come on.
All right. Hey, you know what, man? A lot of always talked about on the show. You know, I love it, right? I'm always getting some new insight. You know, yeah, you're right. Everybody keep twerking. But you know what I'm saying? We got to keep twerking for the culture and understand that, you know, we the element of change, right? You know, it's so much that we able to offer and to give. You know, let them people twerk. Let them be happy and do their thing. We also all got to do our thing too. I appreciate just being a part of the show. And love and good night.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm gonna give my little famous last words. Um, hold on. I don't usually like to give my famous last words, but all right. So I'm gonna be contrary. Stop the twerking. Public. Okay, leave that for your man at home. Twerk as much as you want. That is for your man, okay? Not the world.
Oh, that's right, Ashley.
I'm being contrary, okay? But anyway, I had fun tonight, y'all. Just make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and share the Ladies Room podcast with your friends. All right, we're all about fairness and love and joy and building our communities and having real conversations and having fun while doing it. So, see you next Wednesday, y'all.
Good night. Peace.
Peace out.
Good
Peace
night.
out, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, see y'all.